These days, it can be hard to trust the media. What's true, what's fake, and who is behind the message? I'm a freelance journalist and videographer who has spent years studying the media. Now I'm taking a look at what local, regional, and national news stories mean to us here in North Central Washington. I'm Dominick Bonny, and this is Common Sense. Hello and welcome to Common Sense. I'm Dominick Bonny, and today we're going to take a look at a few veteran-owned micro farms in Pateros, Washington. These farms are worked by a group of Army vets who aim to give other veterans the opportunity to engage in dirt therapy, as they call it. I drove up to check out the farms at the Tatley Outpost, as these vets have dubbed their donated parcel of land, last weekend after I got connected with Joel Swinson on social media a few months ago. Joel is a former Army combat medic who served in Afghanistan, and now his mission is to reach out to other vets, create community, and combat isolation, as well as the negative mental health effects that come with it. The operation is supported in part by grant funding from the Veterans Administration, and it's a model that I hope to see used more in the future, because the fact is that we should be doing everything that we can to come up with new ways to support our vets, especially combat veterans. Because the fact is that our country has been at war since I was in high school. And while we're very good at training soldiers and sending them off to fight, we're not very good at decommissioning them and giving them the support they need to transition back into civilian life and function in a society not filled with people who are trying to kill them. Having grown up with peers who went to war and came back so broken they were not able to maintain families and relationships, or sometimes hold down jobs because of post-traumatic stress syndrome and the myriad of mental health problems that come with it, including self-medication with drugs and alcohol, I realized that the way that we treat our veterans is something we should all be ashamed about. And that's part of the reason why I was so excited to meet Tim, Joel, and Brandon at the Tatley Outpost last weekend and learn more about what they're doing to create a community for their fellow veterans. Here's Tim to tell you more about the Outpost and the dirt therapy they're doing up there.
Came out here about 4 years ago and started everything here with the land, and business partner David Overcash, we decided to call it Tatley Outpost in honor of the owner of the land. And I met Joel when he was over at GV about 5 years ago. And when he was getting ready to transition from growing veterans, I said, hey, why not come out here and test your hand at starting your own farm? And so he came out here and started Charlie Foxtrot Farm. And what we do on the Outpost is we bring veterans out and give them a chance to understand transition from the military, whether it's been, a decade since they've been out or just 6 months. So it gives them the ability to figure out what they want to do regardless of if it's farming. They can find different experiences in agriculture or trades. And so the idea is to get them out on the land, get them connected with individuals in the area, and to understand what it means to work as a team, but also build that confidence to start something on their own and go out from here and figure out what they want to do in conjunction to what we're doing on the Outpost.
Great.
So I was in the Army, and my role was a forward observer, artillery, and that is in conjunction with 13 Fox Farms. So that's my farm that I run with everything else. And so that way I'm preaching what I do what I preach. Yeah. So that way I'm operating my own farm and working out the kinks just as we go.
What's the future look like? What are the goals?
Well, the goals are to basically have veterans in different parts of the area be able to develop a network of other veterans. If they're interested in agriculture as a hobby, they could learn from each other and develop that network, and also just a network of friends in case there is times of just being isolated. So yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, and I noticed too that this could in part replace or fill that camaraderie, that role that maybe you get when you're in the military.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, as you can see right now, we're working as a team to try and figure out the tractor.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a new piece of equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Well, is there anything else that you want the public to know about what you're doing here today?
Buy local produce, local products, support your local farmer. And if you happen to see a veteran grown sticker on anything, if you want to support veterans, then that's one way of doing it.
Great. And where can people find your produce when you're ready to harvest?
So we'll be selling produce in Chelan and Wenatchee at the Whole Food markets there, and we'll be at the farmers market in Chelan.
Very good. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now let's meet Joel and learn how he made his way to North Central Washington and what his goal for the Tatley Outpost is. So would you say that your primary goal is to make this a viable farm, or is it a therapy for vets, or a mix?
Yeah, it's a little of both. It's basically just an environment where vets can come out. They can, pursue what they, what they're interested in, whether it's like working on the farm or, I include outdoor recreation with Charlie Foxtrot and try to get vets outdoors because that's helped me a ton. And yeah, we're looking to also feed the community. So it's an all-encompassing thing. We're helping vets, we're helping the community, and the big thing is getting veterans kind of back into the community and help them feel a part of the community. You lose your sense of purpose when you get out, and I did, at least. Not everyone does, but I was a combat medic, and I had to bring a platoon of guys home to their families from a war, and when I got out, I felt pretty useless because, it was a really high speed and like high stress job. And when I got out, I didn't have my platoon that had my back. I didn't have anyone telling me what to do, and so it was just very disheartening. A lot of my skills didn't transfer either. They did kind of, but not. I didn't have the scope of practice that I did in the Army as a medic. So, yeah, it's like I said, we all struggle with a purpose, and we're here to help those vets that just don't know exactly what they want to do when they get out, whether it's agriculture, whether it's helping vets, other vets, and we're just here to guide them and also connect them with benefits, VA, disability, VA home loan, stuff like that. So just kind of being an advocate for those that, are tending to isolate themselves. And yeah. So tell me about the piece of ground that we're on, and just a little bit about your funding, because I know that we spoke about, the VA being supportive of this, and you got some grant funding. Can you tell me about that? Yeah. So when I was running Growing Veterans, I established a Veterans Conservation Corps internship with the nonprofit, and that's when I first found out about that VA funding. That helped Growing Veterans not have to pay their employees through nonprofit funds. It was VA that was paying them. So when I left Growing Veterans, I had put 5 vets through and supervised them through their internships and watched them grow, and decided it's my turn. And so, so my internship basically, the Veterans Conservation Corps, part of Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs, it was a paid internship to live out here, to start my farm. On top of that, Tatley Outpost is part of a VA Farms grant, which includes a few other veteran organizations in Washington State, including Growing Veterans in Linden, Washington, and Vets on the Farm in Spokane, and here at Tatley Outpost. So the VA is funding us to start our business, helps us with all the supplies we need to get going. And the internship also helps. My internship's almost up, but it's really helped me and directing me on what I want to do with my farm and what I want to do with my life. Really, it really was a great program, and we're actually looking for interns now. Now that my internship's up, we'll be looking for part-time interns that will get paid through the VA, and it's very self-directed. Veterans Conservation Corps actually is helping vets kind of with healing by getting them out into nature, getting them working in conservation work or organic farming or what we're doing out here, you know. So yeah, it's the VA has really been vital in keeping us going out here. So
Yeah, and those are transferable skills. Those
totally.
things that you just explained.
yeah.
Can you speak to the mental health aspects or benefits of getting your hands dirty and having a purpose and growing things in the earth? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, definitely. When I first started, it was, I really didn't think much of it, you know. I was like, cool, you know, I grew up in Cedar Woolley, there was farming all around. I had no desire really. But, you know, it wasn't until the first year I was working at Growing Veterans, we were part of a research study with the Office of Rural Health. And they were able to get these metrics, and I was part of the study. I mean, I did like 5-hour phone interviews, and it really, the numbers really showed that a lot of these vets that are getting into agriculture are changing their behavior, whether it's eating better, you're exercising more, you're getting out, the routine. We call it dirt therapy at Growing Veterans, and it's stuck. And, you know, there's actual physical evidence of fungus that's in the soil that you absorb through your skin that act as an SSRI, and that actually, I learned this through the VA, that just ingesting, you know, dirt, eating dirt, increases the diversity in your microbiome in your stomach, which helps with depression, anxiety, all these factors. For me, it was definitely apparent that like I was getting better sleep. I was less angry. I was able to kind of like while we were working in the field, we're just talking and like letting stuff out. And I mean, you just saw it there on the tractor, you know, we were all kind of not, you know, just letting out a lot of pent up energy. Not anger necessarily, but I'm a very active person and I have to keep moving. And so, yeah, there's a lot to it, and it's all relative to the person that is getting into it. Everyone has different benefits that they get out of it. Mine, obviously, are just, for me, like I was a medic, and when I got out, my skills didn't transfer very well, and I did get into the medical field. I did ski patrol, but I really found that I was being triggered a lot, and it was hard. And so when sorry, I just had a brain fart. You can cut that out, right? Where was I going with that? I totally lost it.
You're talking a little bit about ski patrol.
Okay, so yeah, so you know, I was in the medical field, and I did ski patrol, and I found that was just too much too soon treating people. And so when I started work at Growing Veterans, and then just within agriculture in general, I found my new purpose was helping vets with this sort of therapy, more of the invisible wounds, I guess. That is my purpose, and like I am very passionate about helping my fellow brothers and sisters out that are really struggling, because I've been there. I went through you know, drinking too much and all that, and that is another thing that helped me kind of get my stuff straight. Was I got to get up early and be there at 5 o'clock at the farm. I can't be hungover. And at Growing Veterans, I was a mentor for these guys and gals too, so that really, actually, I ended up quitting drinking a few years back, and you know, I contribute that to a bunch of factors, but definitely getting into farming and helping my brothers and sisters out was a pretty big factor in that.
So you mentioned, you know, being triggered. Would you say that you deal with PTSD?
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, if anyone that's been through a year in war and says that they're fine is either lying or, man, more power to you. Because yeah, it's you know, for a year I was, you know, watching, you know, people get hurt, treating them, but also, you know, there was a lot more than just shooting and whatever. You know, we were doing humanitarian aid, and we, you know, experienced a totally different culture that we didn't understand, and just were angry when we were there because we were trained to whatever, dehumanize. And we have a Vietnam vet that one of my good friends, and just like he really helped me a ton in low times. He's Mike Hackett, and he was an organic inspector for a number of years, and he helped me with my farming skills, but also with the drinking and everything, because he was 30 years sober. And he puts it how, like, the military, you are trained to destroy, kill. You get out, you're not untrained. They just kind of, all right, whatever. You have to untrain yourself. And growing food, it kind of negates that. Like, you're creating something, you're growing, you're nurturing life, you're not destroying it, unless you're weeding or something. Yeah. But it really, like, we call him our elder statesman for growing veterans, because he's been a part of the organization since the beginning, and being able to bridge that gap of different generations too, of like hearing these experiences from Vietnam vets, and like hearing similarities of like what I went through over there, training the Afghans so that they can do it on their own, and just all the people not wanting us there, obviously, and there were similarities. Of course, Vietnam was a totally different era, and their homecoming was not great, but it was great to hear that generation and how we could relate, because even at some of the VFWs, older vets, they don't understand what we went through, and vice versa. So there's kind of not friction, but it was a different time, and yeah. It's really cool to make that connection, and that's kind of what it's all about, is just making connections, whether it's in your brain, creating new neural pathways, learning new tasks, muscle memory, all this, like operating the tractor. You have to get this stuff down, and then it's just, I don't know, it's like robot mode kind of. It's like
first 2 rows are hard, and then it's
and then
progressively easier. Like
all 3 of us working together and trying. I did the first 2 by myself, and it took all day. And we got this one done because we had people behind, and we're like collaborating, and we're just getting a flow down. And that's like really also a very therapeutic thing, is when you're weeding or trimming or whatever, you get into a flow state where you're just in it, and like you're in the moment. And that's what I really struggled with, was with my PTSD, and trying to stay grounded in the moment and not thinking about the past or the future. When you're out there weeding a row or whatever, you're listening to music, talking to other people, it's like, okay, you get into just a nice flow, and the time passes quick. And then you look at like what you did, you either planted something or you weeded, and it looks better than it did. It's just all encompassing, like getting back to nature.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you think the public should know about Charlie Foxtrot Farms?
We're always looking for folks that are interested in wanting to get into a beehive. Down in Wenatchee, I have a beehive that's going to be a demonstration beehive in my backyard, so anyone's welcome to come out. And we're like our mission is to just create a network for these vets, and like any veterans that are interested, even a smidge of like growing garlic or being self-sustainable, especially in these times, like it would be great to bring them out here and just get them. And we offer paid internships, so if not, like, if anything, if people want to come out and just hike around, like we shoot out here and stuff, so we have fun. We work hard, but we play hard. So, and we really would love to. We offer, anybody is welcome out here, not just vets. It's not just a veterans club. We really encourage the community to kind of bridge the gap. At Growing Veterans, I found that when community members would come out and we would kind of get a group project going, and a lot of people have absolutely no clue, like what it takes, or not what it takes, but what it means, or what it's like to be in the military. It's not all shooting and it's 90% really bored and 10% sheer terror. But it's really great to bridge that gap of like the community, because the community is vital for vets to feel a purpose, and so like we want anybody out here. Well, anybody. I don't know about anybody, but mostly anybody.
Yeah. And you have a Facebook page, right?
Yes, Facebook, Charlie Foxtrot Farm, and then my Instagram is what I use the most. Facebook I use for selling honey and stuff. The Instagram though is kind of where I have all the stories, and I bring it over to Facebook. But yeah, and then 13 Fox Farm and Frontline Farm, Tim and Brandon, they're pretty proactive on the Instagram, not so much Facebook. Anyone that's interested in coming out, I mean, I'll have probably my contact info in the deal, so you can give me a call or shoot me a text, and we would love to just show you the spot, and then we would love to get a couple volunteer groups out here eventually to do a little spring cleanup. So
I'm sure my Rotary Club would be interested in that once they hear more about your story.
Yeah, and like with Growing Veterans, it was a lot of community, and like I really made a lot of connections over there, and so now it's tough starting over. But I mean, a lot of my connections over there, there's connections here in Wenatchee, but I'm part of the chamber now, so the Chamber of Commerce is awesome. They've been helping out a ton with just getting the word out, and yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for talking to me today,
Awesome. Totally.
Joel. This is great.
Yeah, thank you.
And for showing me around.
Of course.
Yeah. Stay tuned after the break.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbus here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer, and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
By working together as a community, we can all play a part in promoting children's well-being and strengthening families. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Chelan Douglas CASA is dedicated to supporting families and reducing the risk of child abuse and neglect. Join us in our community-wide Pinwheel project and help keep kids safe. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, please call 1-866-363-4276.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bombfile Boats and Motors. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. They have what it takes to make boating fun and hassle-free for the summer. Then as that garage and driveway fill up in the fall, one call is all it takes to learn about their convenient service and storage packages. Now's the time to call and find out why Washington boaters have been trusting Bombfile Boats and Motors to service, store, and maintain their boats for over 70 years. Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been providing heating and cooling services in our valley since 1984. Arctic offers a variety of refrigeration and heating services, proudly now selling Bryant Systems. Heating and air conditioning for your home or business. Commercial refrigeration service for your coolers, freezers, and prep tables. And now, full service on gas fireplaces for your home or business. Whatever it takes, Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, the temperature experts.
Welcome back. Before the break, we heard from Joel Swinson of Charlie Foxtrot Farms about their mission and how they want to connect with the community and support veterans. Now let's meet Brandon, who lives full-time at the Tatley Outpost with his wife, and what that means to him.
My name is Brandon Kewen. We're out at Tatley Outpost, and I help run Frontline Farm and help these other knuckleheads with theirs. And we're kind of just introducing you guys what we do out here on a daily basis type ideas.
Nice. And what branch of service did you serve in, and what did your service look like?
I served in the Army. I did 6 years in the infantry field. I got injured, so I had to get out. And then throughout processes, ended up here.
And what makes you, want to do this? What makes you want to get involved in Charlie Foxtrot?
Actually, ironically, I grew up as a farm kid, and swear to God, I'd never do it again. And Tim invited me out almost 4 years ago now, sat up on top of the cherries just over there, and absolutely fell in love with the idea of being out here. And kind of got back into it. And now, like I said, I run a small bit of mine, just kind of hobby style, but I really like helping these guys out and getting theirs going full times.
Yeah, and so do you live in one of the tiny homes here?
Yeah, so I'm in one of the tiny homes here on property, which is kind of awesome because I'm on about 1,600 acres of quiet, which is nice for some of us to get away. So it's nice to live on property where you can kind of go up for a hike if you need to, you can decompress, you can come outside, smash some hot metal if you want to, play loud music, have a bonfire. So it's definitely good for the mental status.
Nice. And how can people learn more, and how can veterans get involved here?
So veterans or anyone that really wants to get involved here, you definitely check out all of our different social medias, Frontline Farm, 13 Fox Farm, or Charlie Foxtrot. We're all more active on Instagram than anything. Send us a message to there, and we try to have courses out here, and especially now that the season's going, we're definitely going to have more courses and more availabilities. But if you ever just want to come out and hang out, send us a message, and if someone's around, come hang out, get dirty with us.
Nice. And those Instagram handles, just one more time?
Frontline Farm, 13 Fox Farm, and Charlie Foxtrot Farm.
Very good. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want the public to know about what we're doing here today?
We do a lot of veteran stuff here, but it's not just for veterans. This will help people with trauma, period. Dirt therapy, man, it's awesome. It helps you out. Even if you're doing it in your own backyard, get outside, plant something. It doesn't matter what it is, just plant something, you will feel better.
Just plant something. You will feel better, he says. Simple words, but very wise. And speaking from experience, his words are true. Being outside, getting dirty, and growing things makes everyone feel better. And as you heard, what Joel, Brandon, and Tim are doing at the Tatley Outpost isn't just for veterans. It's for the whole NCW community. So if you're a social media user, follow these 3 farms on Instagram. It's a great way to learn more and see what they're doing at the Outpost. But more importantly, buy veteran-made products wherever you can find them. We'll check back in with Joel, Brandon, and Tim later in the growing season to see how things are going. But in the meantime, if you'd like to get connected with them on social media and learn more, you can catch the links to their Instagram accounts in the sources under the transcript for this episode on NCWLIFE.com under the full episodes tab. Just scroll down to Common Sense with Dominick Bonny and click on episode 30. And if you are really interested in reading more about the real-life experiences of combat veterans, I'd start with The Fighters by C.J. Chivers, Generation Kill by Evan Wright, and The Naked and the Dead by Norman Mailer. And if you do read those books or have a personal story to tell about your experience with or as a combat veteran, you can share that with me by emailing info@ncwlife.com. I'm Dominick Bonny. Join me next time for Common Sense.
Yes, we would all love to have a crystal ball to tell us precisely where the local economy and real estate market is headed in 2021 and in the near future. However, what we do have here at NCW Life Channel are local experts we connect with every week to give us the inside scoop on all you need to know about your home and our local real estate market. Join me each week while we find out what's happening in the greater Wenatchee Valley. I'm your host, Crystal Hughes, and you are watching At Home with NCW Life.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants? I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCWLIFE community calendar at ncwlife.com.